Leaders, this is exactly how you're going to get your gym from right here and start winning titles immediately. Not just winning titles, but you're going to learn that it's better with an empty mind that has a peace of mind rather than chaos going on, trying to accrue, get more people, and trying to be that guy, win those titles, and all of those things that's jammed up in your mind. This is exactly why I'm going to challenge you. And my gym owners, I am here for you. All right. So this is exactly how you go about doing it. And if you're an athlete, competitive, and you want to really say, why am I having so much trouble at tournaments? This is also the fix for that. So here are the most important 5 things that you can do Monday through Friday to get to the upper echelon of the boxing gym and the game of sport of boxing. So follow this. Number one, I'm challenging you right now to have a routine, a regimen, not coming out of your head. That ain't gonna work. That ain't working. That's for people who are new and don't understand that you will not move forward trying to think out of your brain every single thing. Problems don't get solved that way. That's how problems are created, right? So, the first thing that you got to do is literally just follow a process, kind of that simple, right? A routine is something that you get accustomed to doing every single day, but it doesn't have to have a result tied to it. But a regimen is more regimented for a purpose, right? So when you start wondering why, like the military guys have such a great sense of discipline, it's because of the regimen. But what we have here is what you call system, is what you're going to start implementing. And a system is something that has every single problem tied in with the actual solution to it. Okay. It eliminates all problems. So, therefore, whatever you want to have happen in your game, when you're boxing, you want to have success in boxing. Obviously, if you run a gym, whether it's a BJJ gym or if it's an MMA gym or if it's an actual boxing gym, if you want the real outcome, you got to have something that's already proven that it works, right? So I'm going to use an example of my coach. Every single day he came into the gym with a notebook. It was already filled out every time. Never did he do it without that book. For 15 years, that's all I saw this individual doing. And so I was like, I thought I was being creative, coming off the cuff every day with new stuff. But what happens when you give an athlete new stuff? Their brain doesn't have time to hardwire it into their mind. And so, therefore, they struggle with mitts, they struggle in the boxing ring, and they struggle when it comes down to retaining the information and it never transfers into the ring. So, if you've boxed before, if you've taught it before, and you're having a hard time getting your athlete to do what you've been practicing with them, doing in the ring or during a competition, that's why. Because the brain has to send so many different signals to so many different body parts at the exact same time. It assesses your opposition. It tells your feet to move in a particular place. It has to be in an exact same place. And so it has to actually implement perception. All of these things are happening at the exact same time. Boom, the brain has to do it. So you got to hardwire them. And this, what we call a system, is what hardwires this into their body so that when you call for it, they can do it. And nonetheless, they can actually do it without you calling for them to do it because it's hardwired in there. And that's what is so profound about a system versus a just a regular program that achieves a goal. A system has all the stuff embedded. So going to YouTube, looking at somebody do something, it does not help you because you're not hardwiring. When you have a system, the system makes you do it every single day the exact same way until it's hardwired. So if you go look at our footwork drills, you see us walking the floor. Well, we walk the floor with it because that's a part of hardwiring. So the brain does not operate well in chaos. So if the brain is experiencing chaos, what starts to happen is it shuts down and it goes into fight or flight mode. And a lot of you who have listened understand that that's called neuroplasticity, right? So if you don't want your brain to go into chaos and freeze up and forget what you are next to do, then your key is to learn a system, basic stuff. So 5 days, Monday, you come in here and I'm going to explain exactly what's in this guide that shows you how to go about doing it. And I learned it from my uncle. I didn't know this. Like, my common sense didn't even kick in because the only thing I thought was relevant is skills. Just get the skills. No. So it's a waste of time. That's why we give away material for free, because we let people know you can do that, but you need the hard wiring. I can show you every skill. I got 10,000 videos over here, right? Well, 7,000 locked down. I got 3,000 that's available to have access to, but that is not relevant if I don't have the system to actually develop and hardwire my brain. If nothing out of this is going to come, the only thing that's going to come out of that is chaos, confusion, and when it counts most, it's going to not show up. So if you want to grow your gym, if you want to be at an elite boxing program level, then it's all about following a simple process. So the first thing that these guys wake up and do on Monday is footwork, right? The footwork, we're going to introduce one of the most popular footwork drills in the world, and I uh, must take the credit for making it popular. Just like Floyd made Philly Shell popular, we made the box step popular. Every time we put it up, it does 1 million views. You can't make that up. But that's where we start because that's the base. That's actually designs yourself. It helps you to design the pattern of the ring. So it's the science behind ring generalship. It's the base and the box step. So we do that. We walk the floor with it. The next thing that we do is we come back and double box step, because you're gonna use a multitude of different movements whenever you're boxing, right? And you're gonna go left times, 3 times, 4 times. You gotta hardwire your brain to say, I don't just go once. It's possible that I'll go 8 times to the right. You have to get your mechanics so that they are so comfortable doing it that they can do it in you can do it in your sleep. So there's that. Then we get into what we call hop steps. This is just the footwork. And then we will do either bulldogs or Ray Robinson drills. And the reason why we've done and had over 300 coaches win titles in the amateurs and professional ranks, and even over in the UFC, it's because they follow the basic process. And the process is what made the athlete have the ability to retain the information. It allowed them to then learn how to run their gyms because they had freed up space, because they don't have to think about what they're going to do. I'm not selling this idea. This is what I had to learn. It took me over 12 years to figure this out, instead of thinking that boxing is about me, like I invented it. And so every good idea I come up with, it goes into that book of, hey, this is yours. Y- You see, the only reason you box is so that you have the opportunity to win a title, right, coaches? Your objective is to get titles for your athletes. But what good is a title if you don't know what to do next? You see, when you're consumed with getting to a title, all of those 300 different opportunities and coaches that have made it using our program, they made it, and they made it further because I was able to see it further, right? And I was able to then say, this is what you do after the fact. Don't just concentrate there. You have to see bigger so you can go further. Because getting to the title, the only thing that happens is somebody else comes and takes it. So if you position yourself to keep moving up the ladder, then boom, you got that. So the next thing is punch logistics. We focus on mastering the jab, right? First is the classic jab. Then we focus on doubling that up. And then you learn the jab to the body, jab to the head. All of these, we go right all of those punch logistics. Then we use the right hand. I just did a tutorial on the straight right hand, the difference between the straight right hand and the cross. And if you don't know the difference between the straight right hand and the cross comes across the body. The straight right hand you have to tip and deliver it straight right here. It's not possible to deliver a straight right hand with your head on the line. And a lot of you, I see pretty much everybody, pros and amateurs, doing it because they're getting away with it. But if you fight fighters that have master boxing on their shirt or the school of boxing, I promise you, you will get your lunch handed to you because they understand that. And so we don't want you guys to be out here thinking you got a skill because you've been practicing on YouTube and Instagram for the past 6 months. And then when you get into the ring, we don't do what you want us to do. We take away what you do best. And then we undress you to see how you operate naked. And that is how you become champion and reign as champion. When you can take away their arsenal and then see what they look like without any clothes on in that ring. All right. Being undressed is embarrassing, especially when it's cold outside. You know what I'm saying? So the key is understanding that the process is key. So I challenge you, coaches, to work with your athletes and to make sure that if you're going to do this, you got to don't walk into the gym another day without a process in place. Don't walk into the gym another day without a process in place. I don't care what is in front of you. Your brain cannot hold the capacity of, I'm going to show you the amount of books. Okay? I don't care how good you are. You can't just think of this much stuff. These are books that I've written. This is what happens when you join a fraternity. That's a school. That's a school. That was a fraction of the books. So no matter what you learn the process to go along with it, the system. Like this is the art of sparring, right? This is the art of fighting. When you learn that, that is what gets you to winning regional titles and things of that nature. We won 3 medals in 2020 in the Olympics with this. Okay, Coach Lopez, special shout out to you, Olympic Coach Lopez. Next, when you learn that, then you learn how to host a regular training camp when you're getting ready to transition to the professional ranks. That's a system. You learn how to do everything from shadow boxing the right way, like a prize fighter, to actually balling out as a top contender in the top 5. And then you start implementing your styles of boxing. And look at this. This is when you're getting into the art. This is when you're getting into that art. And this is prize fighting. So it's not like we're figuring it out when you come into the gym. We're copying what's already been done. And that's how you get there. So if you're in the pros and you're transitioning from the top 10 to the top 5, because it's all a transition, it's a different level. You know, go in there unprepared and you'll find out what the devil is. New level, new devil, right? And then when you hold in the title, there's a reason why you have to know how to defend that thing. And if you don't have the process in place, we have what we call prize fighter. This is where you develop top prize fighter, champion level dudes using a hybrid fighter. So first you get the basic stuff down. And this right here is that. And this right here gets you into winning those little tournaments that you're going into. This is a super process. And that's where gym owners find the ability to grow their gyms because now they don't have to think about what they're going to be doing with their fighters. They can train other trainers with these programs. And that's what it's all about. So I challenge you to stop being like everybody else because the other 98.3% of the people are just like that. The ones that wear and reign as champion are in the top 100th of a percent. All right. Be one of those. And that is this. Now, I didn't start my lineage. I was third generation. Coach Adams, Georgie Benton, by way of people like Archie Moore, who I was adopted by, like the family. So special shouts out to J. Marie Moore. I couldn't have done it without them. But guess what? What I had to do is turn it into something that was useful to the other trainers. So that's why it's unique that you follow the process and stop trying to do it out of your head, because that's not going to work. It's not going to work because you can't beat guys like this who got this. It's not, because everything you can do, they understand, and their muscle memory is wired for that. They're hardwired to do it because you can do it, you can see it. We put videos out, but when it counts most and the pressure's on, to what's going to happen to you is your brain is going to go into fight or flight, and you won't be able to even listen to your corner, because what will be going on with you is neuroplasticity. And that's basically panic mode in your brain, and it cannot send signals to where they need to be. So don't be a victim of that. All you got to do is follow the actual process that's been proven. 10,000 of my hours, you don't have to use your own. You don't have to take 10 years figuring it out. The only thing you got to do is say, let me borrow your 10,000 hours. And if you don't have a process in place, all you have to do is type the word school to get a process in place and borrow my 10,000 hours and 4 other people's 10,000 hours. So the minute you do that, you're acquiring 40,000 hours of experiences and over 40 titles just under Master Boxing's banner alone. So thanks to the legends that left all that knowledge for me, those experiences that I had, and they kicked my ass. They were scary. And I said, before I do anything, I'm going to make sure that the younger version of myself is going to have something to follow. And this process is why I created. That was my motivation, because I was in panic mode being at the side of those fights, and they were happening, and I had to call it. So no matter what you do, if you're learning boxing and you want to get it hardwired so you don't shut down when it counts most, then make sure you type the word school inside of that, or go to the School of Boxing, and that link is in that description, and go find yourself a process. If you use me, maybe you don't like me, I don't care. Go get somebody else's who sells that service as a company, so that you won't be a victim. You'll be an actual testimony for them. But we have that, and ours is pretty deep. Like I said, we can get you from day one to after you win the title with our prize fighters. So the development system is all about building hybrid fighters, fighters that can attack you from any angle, fighters that will not stop going forward until they get everything they came for. And that is the key to boxing. So don't do it out of your head. Make sure no matter what you do, you dive in and you protect the thing that you're going after. And so gym owners, make sure no matter what you do, you protect your destiny so that you can leave behind a legacy type school. And I'll see you guys soon in the winner's circle. And be blessed at God's speed. And special shouts out to all of you who support us. And the only way to support me is to make sure that you are taking care of business the right way. That's all we care about, because we don't have to do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? We're doing it because we committed to boxing. And so if you're in the sport of boxing and want to learn it the right way, do it the right way. Follow the process. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's already been done for you. Just steal somebody else's 10,000 hours and implement it into your life. And that's all I got. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I hope you have already subscribed. If you haven't, make sure you hit the notification bell, because we got a great series called Untold Science. And it basically uncovers things like fear in the ring, panicking, nerves going crazy whenever it counts most, and how to embed muscle memory. It's going to uncover all of that. So if that's the kind of thing you like, make sure you continue to follow for more, but type school if you're ready to change and take your game to that next level of boxing. Coach Bradley signing out. Be blessed. Tag your friend who thinks they know it all and they needed to hear this. Peace.